Welcome to the show. Now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has formally declared his intention to run for the 2023 presidency. The former Vice President says his interest in contesting the 2023 presidency and his enduring persistence are born out of his passion to rekindle the Nigerian dream that he was privileged to live. According to Atiku, Nigeria is a sinking ship that must be rescued urgently. His bid for the presidency comes even as the People's Democratic Party's National Working Committee is prepared to inaugurate its 37-member zoning committee on zoning. Now, the Southwest Zone of the People's Democratic Party has insisted that Nigeria's next president should emerge from the southern part of the country. The party, at an extended zonal caucus meeting in Oyo State, said it was in support of the position of the Southern Governors Forum that the southern part of the country should produce the successor to President Muhammadu Buhari. The party also reaffirmed its call for Nigeria's restructuring and says it will support all efforts aimed at national cohesion through equitable distribution of federal positions and appointments among the geopolitical zones. And now, in all of this, Sokoto State Governor Tambuwal has revolted against the idea of zoning of the presidency and cautioned the PDP to focus on winning elections. He said the party will have the liberty to share power only after it has successfully won the 2023 elections at the center and in the state. The presidential hopeful noted that just as the ruling All Progressives Congress did in 2015, the PDP must seek viable candidates with which it can win elections and not narrow its chances through a zoning arrangement. According to him, if the APC presented a candidate from the south in 2015, it would have lost the presidential election. Well, for more on this, I'm now being joined by Danjuma Bello Sarki, who is an Atiku Abubakar supporter and a member of the People's Democratic Party. We hope to also have others join us in the course of the show. And I come to you, Danjuma. Let's talk about the declaration today by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He has said that Nigeria is a sinking ship. In all of this, some would say that if the country has sunk to the extent that which he has described it, then he should be part of those who should be blamed. What is the new narrative that Atiku is bringing ahead of the 2023 elections?
Thank you very much. I don't think Atiku is absolutely exonerating himself from blame of the failure of Nigeria. But the fact is that he has never been in charge. He has never been the main man at the helm of affairs. But what he's saying is that with his experience, with his background, with his contact, with his connection, with his know-how, with his reach, he would be able to rescue the sinking ship back on track to be able to float. So what he is bringing on here now is more of experience. You know, he has been in this politics for over 3 decades. He has equally been in government for so many years. He has contested election at various levels. He won governorship in 1999, relinquished it to serve as the Vice President of Nigeria under the Obasanjo presidency. And in that presidency, you know, then Nigeria was a pariah nation. Nigeria was a nation that a lot of people looked down on. I remember those days that we used to know that when Nigerians go out of the country, normally their queue is different, whereby they will be scrutinized, they will be dehumanized, and what have you. And Nigerians were coming up from the trauma of the military era. He was the person who set up the Obasanjo economic team that brought about a lot of economic growth, that brought about a lot of economic prosperity, and placed Nigeria on the path of growth.
Yeah, so and that's why I said that in one way or the other, he's still part of those who took decisions. Because as former vice president, at least, he was in charge of the economy under the Obasanjo presidency. But now let's look at what he's bringing to the table. I mean, this is the 6th time that Atiku is contesting for the presidency. Yes. Not so many people even know that, I mean, in this generation, that he contested alongside late Moshood Abiola.
Yes.
That was around the SDP period in 1992 and all of that. And subsequently, he has continued to do that. Yes. Now, what is the unique thing that makes Atiku stand out?
One, this is to show you how tenacious the man is and his belief in Nigeria. This is to tell you that he has utmost commitment to see that he salvages Nigeria from the condition it is right now. And again, Atiku today is coming with, just like I said earlier, a wealth of experience, because apart from serving in government, He has been successful as a businessman. He runs Priam Group. Priam Group is one of the most successful group in Nigeria. He has an educational institution, which is a university that everybody knows. Abubakar Atiku Abti University, Yola, is one of the best private universities we have in this country. He has GoTel, which is one of the major TV station in the Northeast. And he's into telecommunication, ICT. And if you look at him, he's a man that is very dynamic. The way he has embraced the dynamism that have come with IT today, you'll be so marveled that he's technologically savvy. He is following the trends of happenings in the world, and he understands where the direction in which the world is going. He is equally an owner of a microfinance bank, Standard Microfinance Bank in Yola, where he gives soft loans, small loans to small and medium scale industry and entrepreneurs for them to be able to invest in their business and for their business to thrive, to empower them, to ensure that they are part of the wealth creation in our economy, and to ensure that he gives them a source of livelihood. And again, he's deeply into agriculture. You know, the Rico Gado Nutreka investment is his company, whereby he has a lot of expatriates who today are even engaging on technology transfer to Nigerians. You know, modern technological methods of farming, not the archaic way. And again, he's coming with the fact that as somebody who has a lot of investment in Nigeria, he is willing to ensure he brings about security in this country, because without security, there's no how there will be economic prosperity. And so as someone who has tremendous investment in Nigeria, there's no how he would take security issues with levity. Unlike the kind of crop of leaders we have today, who today, if Nigeria falls up, they feel they can just easily pack up their bag and baggages and leave. But he has a lot of stake in Nigeria.
Now, let's talk about the politics of PDP. The PDP has set up a zoning committee made up of 37 members, and that zoning committee is meant to be inaugurated tomorrow. And all of a sudden, we are seeing Atiku going ahead to actually purchase a form, or the form was given to him by his supporters. Isn't it like jumping the gun? Why do we need that zoning committee when the former flag bearer of the party has already, declared for the presidency? And we've seen Bukola Saraki also having received the form that was purchased for him too, and all of that. Do you think that there's a deliberate attempt for Atiku and maybe the northern aspirants to ensure that that zoning committee does not function properly?
No, I don't think Atiku is against zoning. Neither am I, and a lot of other PDP members. Because the zoning is not all about presidency, okay? There are other positions to be zoned, okay? And today, Nigerians are thinking of having a president that will rescue Nigeria from the brink of collapse. We are not looking for an ethnic champion. We are not Nigerians are not thinking of a president that will come and begin to think of his own region alone. No. Nigerians is thinking of a president that will come and unite them, that will come and bring prosperity, that will come and bring jobs for Nigerians, that will ensure he gives every part of the country a sense of belonging. Nigeria needs a unifier. Nigeria equally needs somebody who today will come and see Samno Sombo as his own, and see Emeka as his own, and see Ngozi as his own, and see Olua Tosin as his own. Not somebody who, ab initio, he always sees himself as an ethnic champion or an ethnic jingoist. No. And Atiku exemplifies that. Atiku epitomizes that. Yeah, he's a Nigerian.
But the party,
so
the
let
party
me say now,
the
party today setting up the committee is not in bad faith. And the members of the committee are rational and sensitive Nigerians. They will actually be sensitive to the political dynamics currently in the nation, and they will equally be sensitive to ensuring that PDP wins election in 2023. And I know they will not take steps that will jeopardize the chances of the PDP to claim or clinch power in 2023. So don't look at the zoning only on the sphere of the presidency. And don't be surprised. Yes, they can decide to open to leave the presidential ticket open. It's still an option. It's not that because they set up a zoning committee, that means that every other position must specifically be zoned to a particular region in Nigeria. No, the presidency could be left open, which I believe even that is what the zoning committee should think of. The zoning committee should not try to foreclose or close up the chances of PDP winning election. What we are after is having the best candidate that will ensure victory for us in 2023. A presidential candidate who will come and save Nigerians from the current shackles of poverty, hunger, unemployment, insecurity, retrogressive educational standard that we are facing today.
And you think Atiku is that person?
Absolutely. That's why today,
if he couldn't win in 2019, what's the guarantee that he would win in 2023?
I want to tell you personally, I know Atiku won the presidency in 2019. I don't have a doubt. But we know all the gimmicks that played out in order to deny him that presidency. And today, Nigerians understand that. And that is why today we believe he already has about 20 million votes in the coolers that is going to be resurrected, and others who have now increased and multiplied will now join that 12 million, and eventually.
So he stands a better chance now because Buhari is not on the ballot.
Absolutely. Even if Buhari is going to be on the ballot this time around, I am telling you, he's going to whip him out of power and defeat him.
Why are you so optimistic?
I'm very optimistic. Look at his declaration today. He brought out what I can term as the USEED, USEED. He said he's going to unite Nigeria. He's going to ensure security of lives and property. He's going to revive the economy. He's going to ensure he improves the standard and quality of education in Nigeria. And he's going to devolve power and resources to the federating unit. And today, you know, one of the major things Nigerians are yearning about is the concentration of so much power at the federal level. And a lot of state governors are actually yearning that power should be devolved to states, whereby we can have state police and some other issues that are on the exclusive list of the constitution will now be devolved or included in the concurrent list to enable states
and
equally
the APC will tell you that they've already done that through their own National Assembly.
How did they do that?
Recent constitution review.
A party that does not even know is left from right. Today, this one will say, no, we are not after devolving any power to any to any state. Tomorrow they say we are. Today we are not in support of state police. Tomorrow we are in support of state police. Today we don't want the nation or the economy to be run the way it's being run. Tomorrow it's normal. So they are inconsistent in their policies and programs. And that is why you see the kind of retrogression that we are witnessing today. And that is why you see our nation actually is seriously losing its image, its recognition, even before the Committee of Nations.
I'll just ask you, Danjuma Sarki, to just hang on there with us as we go on a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the internal wranglings within the PDP, the talk by Tambuwal, and then the southern governors insisting on the presidential ticket of the PDP going to the south. You're still watching the Arise interview. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Arise interview. I'm Somna Sambo, and I still have with me Danjuma Bello Sarki, who is a supporter of Atiku Abubakar and also a member of the People's Democratic Party. And we're having a discourse on Atiku Abubakar's declaration earlier in the day, where he said so many issues and rolled out his policy document if he eventually gets the ticket of the main opposition People's Democratic Party. And Sarki, I want you to talk about the politics of PDP in terms of zoning. A lot of people are still insisting that Atiku should be fair to the southern part of the country. If the APC has done 8 years, Buhari is from the north, isn't it right for the southern part of the country to produce the next president? While some of the northern elements in the PDP are saying that in the PDP since 1999, the south has had 4 attempts, while the north only had 2 in all the 6 tickets that have been given. What do you think is the next form of action after the zoning committee has been set up and the southern governors are insisting that this ticket, in the spirit of fair play and justice, should go to the south?
I want to tell you absolutely that this agitation or clamor for an ethnic presidential candidate will not take us anywhere. And I think it's not a clamor that actually carries a lot of the interests of Nigerians at heart. Because as we are talking today, tell me, if you take the presidency and give it to the South, who in the South? Okay? We must learn to actually...
Yeah, there are several people.
We have
Pius
Anyim. No.
Is there. We have Samuel Huabunwa, Dele Momodu,
if you can
and so many of them.
Nigerian presidency is not a child's play. You need somebody who has the required contact. We need somebody who has the required local and international exposure. We need somebody who has the network. You need somebody who has the experience. If you say Pius Anyim, yes, I give him, yes, he has been a national figure. But how many people would know Pius Anyim? Go to your village today and tell them Pius Anyim is a PDP presidential candidate. How many people will know him? It will take you days and weeks and months to begin to explain for them to understand who Pius Anyim is.
How about the likes of Peter Obi, for example?
Peter Obi, all of them, they are not people that are of Atiku's clout. But today, if you talk about Atiku Abubakar, this is a man that is known virtually everywhere in the news and crying of this country. Two, this is a man that has political juggernauts, have people who have direct contact with the grassroots. He has direct contact with them, who always fit him back on the happenings in this country, and who knows who and who to link up to. Today,
hold on, let's listen to Atiku himself while he was making his declaration speech. Just go ahead.
Let us unite and fight our common enemies. That is lack of unity, insecurity, poverty, inflation, and unemployment. That is what this election is all about. I have no doubt in my mind that we as Nigerians can do it. We have done it in 1993. We can do it in 2023. We must stand firm. Get our PVCs, come out en masse, cast our votes, and protect the votes against any manipulation.
All right, Atiku Abubakar there trying to ask his supporters to remain firm and ensure that the PDP comes top. But what gives Atiku the confidence that he will get this presidential ticket, considering how the governors are insisting that one of them should actually come out? And then we've seen people like Wike, who are very powerful in the PDP, insisting that things must change this time around. And from the rhetoric, it looks like the governors may gang up against Atiku Abubakar.
I want to tell you emphatically that the governors do not owe PDP. They don't owe PDP. They don't own it. They are only people who are enjoying the mandate of the party currently. So if they have their own interests and they are agitating for their own interests, is understanding. But other majority members of the party too have every right to agitate, to declare their interests, and to go for it. The last time, the governors had an interest, okay? But Atiku went and won the presidential ticket in Port Harcourt. Even one of the governors ensured that he spit fire and brimstone, that if it were not taken to his domain, the PDP was going to break
to
PDP
be specific,
or
you're talking about Governor Onyesan Wike
up, and they took it there. He won. And today the governors cannot be the alpha and omega of the party. They are enjoying the ticket of the party, and they cannot claim ownership of the party more than Atiku Abubakar, who has been in the system, who was part of the people that founded the party. And when he won governorship of on the ticket of the party in 1999, where were they?
Well, okay, they keep accusing him of running and leaving the party. I mean, he left in 2006, he came back, and around 2011 again he left, and then he came back. And they keep saying that even when he still remained in the PDP after 2019, immediately he lost, he ran to Dubai and all of that. That there's this tendency for Atiku to always leave the party when things don't go his way. Must it always be Atiku Abubakar?
How would somebody who was part of those who built a house abandon the house? No. Atiku never ran away from the PDP, whether in 2006, whether in 2019, no. But the normal thing is that after the kind of election he ran, it's expected that he should go off and at least rest a bit and equally attend to some other business concerns, because he's an international businessman. And while he was away, he was in touch with a lot of members of the PDP, a lot of people, and you saw a lot of delegation even leaving Nigeria to go and meet him wherever he is. His doors were always open, and he was always communicating with people. But what I want to tell you, in politics, when they want to hang a dog, they say they give him a bad name. So I want to see this, those who are pushing this narrative as just trying to blackmail him and trying to see they edge him out of favor. But one thing I want them to understand, that Atiku has become a recurring decimal in our political system. And I want to tell you without an area of doubt, out of the caliber of the presidential aspirants we are seeing, not only in PDP, even in other parties, I think Atiku is the best candidate to lead this country. And today, if you give Atiku ticket, I am telling you, a lot of people in APC and other political parties will jump ship and follow him because they believe in him, and he has a lot of contact in them. Not some other people who just, I beg to say, they are just some kind of local champion or people who are yet to get their footing rightly in politics.
Okay, as we try to round off this show, this segment, so to say, there's been this talk about a northern consensus candidate. That's what the likes of Bukola Saraki, Bala Mohammed, and Governor Aminu Tambuwal are trying to bring. Do you think that will work? And then secondly, what do you make of Tambuwal's statement to the South that, look, this issue of zoning should be set aside. The most important thing is for the party to win the 2023 election. Once you do that, then you can zone.
I want to tell you very categorically and unequivocally that any permutation, you cannot say you want to permutate, you want to come together to bring a northern consensus candidate. Then you know that you have the most favored aspirant amongst you. You exclude him, then you say you are bringing out a northern consensus candidate. Who gave you the mandate to speak for the North? You want to speak for your interest, not for the North. Because there's no how. Even in your wildest imagination, you can jettison Atiku's aspiration in any negotiation that has to do with bringing out a unified candidate, a single candidate.
Well, as Atiku himself enjoyed a similar thing in 2010.
Yes, in 2010, a lot of the aspirants did not join the discussion. That's what I'm saying. You cannot start a discussion and you put aside somebody who you know is stronger than all of you. Then you say you are trying to bring it. That means you think you are trying to play a politics to edge him out. Then to your second question, what Tambuwal said is categorically correct, is right, that PDP should not think about zoning. We should think about winning the presidency first before we think about zoning. And again, let me tell you, he said something very, very categorical, that in 2015, APC did not only zone the party, their ticket to the North, they zoned it particularly to Katsina, because they had someone in mind, and they know that that man can clinch the presidency for them. And he did it. And it was known that all this while that Buhari have been contesting election, he had this kind of cult followership that I always believed in him. And that was why they did that zoning. And today everybody knows that Nigerians have this firm belief that Atiku remains the only aspirant that's sure, and that you have all the assurance, you have all the guarantee that if you give him a ticket, he does not need any tutelage. He's a person that will hit the ground running speedily because he understands all the system, both in and outside government, security-wise,
having been a former vice president.
Somebody who has been a key player.
But very quickly, some of these governors are saying that it's only a sitting president that should enjoy the privilege of having a presidential ticket twice, and that Atiku is not a sitting president, so he shouldn't enjoy that privilege. What gives you the confidence that Atiku can clinch this ticket if the governors are thinking this way?
I want to tell you, this is just nothing but a rhythm of people who are ganging up to edge out a competent person. Okay? And today we are not thinking about, I want to assure you that the governors do not own PDP. One.
But they have a huge influence.
Yes, they have. You can have an influence, but you might not always have your way. Okay? And if we as the members of the party feel that, no, this influence they have, this time around, it cannot have its way. We'll block it and we'll truncate it. And I want to let you know that PDP is the only true party in Nigeria. It's the party that is bigger than any individual, is bigger than any group. So whatever orchestration, whatever plan you embark upon, you cannot succeed as far as the members of the party do not go along with you. And I want to tell you, even them, the governors, in all fairness to them, it's still at the level of agitation. They are trying to see if they can have their way. But at the right time, I believe the majority members of the party would tell them this is the direction they want to follow. And Nigerians.
Let's imagine a situation where Atiku loses the PDP presidential ticket. What do you think will happen? Will he defect?
That I cannot say for him, but I know he has said it in some discussions recently that he's not going to defect if he loses, But one thing I want and one thing I'm clamoring for is for the ticket to be open. Let democratic principles come to play. Let everybody go and campaign to the delegates. And on the presidential convention day, let the delegates be allowed to choose whoever they feel is competent enough, whoever they feel has the required capacity, whoever they feel has the experience and knowledge to earn the presidential ticket of the PDP. And if he wins, everybody should come on board and support him. But not somebody who some people, because they have an interest, they think they will truncate the interest of the majority in order for their own interest to come to the front runner or prevail.
Well, Danjuma Bello Sarki, we must thank you for being on the show. I mean, we can only wish Atiku and several other aspirants of the PDP well, because the APC is also preparing to give the PDP a very strong fight. And as the ruling party, well, the PDP also has experience as a former ruling party. We just hope that the elections will go smoothly without security issues.